Muslim militants are the primary suspects in one of the worst attacks ever against a U.S. installation in the Middle East. Good evening, everybody. I'm Charles Rowe.
And I'm Nadine Woodward. American officials insist the U.S. will not be intimidated by the bombing in Saudi Arabia.
19 Americans died and nearly 400 wounded in that attack on a U.S. Air Force housing facility near Tehran. Today, President Clinton was making it clear that while the search gets underway for the who and the why, the U.S. will not be kept from carrying out its mission in the Middle East.
In fact, a four-star general has even said the attack, in his words, served to instill more resolve than ever in U.S. troops. Joining us now live with the latest on the aftermath of the bombing, Regina Blakely in Washington, D.C.
Now, before leaving for the G7,
some of the injured Americans shown on TV there with lacerations, bandages, obviously suffering from multiple injuries. Master Sergeant William Sines survived the blast.
We went back in to search for people, and the whole side of the building was gone.
The president spoke before leaving for the economic summit in France, at which he pledged to take up the issue of terrorism.
Anyone who attacks one American attacks every American, and we protect and defend our own.
His campaign rival, Bob Dole, said he backed the president.
Attack on any American, attack on America. So I would support whatever the administration may have in mind.
The president sent 40 FBI agents to help Saudi police find the killers and dispatched Secretary of State Warren Christopher to the scene.
No one should feel that we'll be in any way deterred in carrying out our mission of peace over Iraq. We'll continue to do that. We'll not be stopped by this outrageous event.
The truck bomb went off just 35 yards from the nearest building, leading to questions about why security, which had been improved, was not tighter.
And we will just have to redouble our efforts to ensure that our men and women stationed all around the world are being provided the maximum security and safety possible.
Flags are at half-staff at the Washington Monument. Pentagon officials say
it was always brought home to us when there's this kind of a terrorist act.
as President Clinton accepts the condolences of world leaders, Dover Air Force Base is now preparing for the arrival tomorrow of the bodies of those who were killed in the attack. I'm Regina Blakely reporting live from the White House. Now back to you.
Well, that terrorist blast in Iran caused some anxious moments here in the Northwest. 11 Fairchild Air Force Base members are stationed there. Fortunately, all of them survived. 2 airmen received minor injuries in the explosion, but accounting now for all the Fairchild personnel, it did take time, and it took its toll on the people waiting for the news. Well, Fairchild Vice Commander said that I will tell you, going through last night as the words came in, first we had 4, then we had 6, then even this morning we were still waiting for confirmation of the final 2. Again, that was the Fairchild Vice Commander. Again, those final 2 whose names have not been released, they received just minor injuries from the explosion. The 11 Fairchild personnel in Iran belong to security, police, transport, supply, and medical squadrons. Now, tonight at 6, we'll talk with one Fairchild airman who was stationed near those very barracks destroyed by the bombing. Meanwhile, on Capitol Hill, lawmakers from the inland Northwest questioned whether our troops are too vulnerable.
You know, it's like being in a car accident. You never know when it's going to happen.
Now, Fairchild Air Force Base personnel play a major role in the Middle East. Now, they actually have 250 people still stationed over in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where they're refueling the fighter planes that are enforcing the no-fly zone over southern Iraq. Melinda?
Bill, thank you. Bill Gross reporting live for us. A typical tour of duty overseas usually lasts about 179 days. Fairchild's main base of operations is in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Norman Schwarzkopf spent many months in the desert.